I think we all need to come together in the county as a whole and work together.
Hello, Taylor County. I'm Alex Renneman with Unleashed Tigert, and I'm here with Christa Kinsey, who's running for Taylor County Assessor. Christa, thanks for coming on the program with us today.
Thanks, Alex, for doing this. Like I said before, this is been a different campaign season this year. It's hard to get out and talk to the public, so this is one way that the public, we can have our voice heard.
Well, good. I'm glad to offer it, and I hope the citizens enjoy it as well. I mean, everything has an asterisk on it this year with COVID, and certainly the election's no different. And so I know it's tough to get out to the events and see people, and certainly, you know, you're not the active assessor as well, so you've got your job going on, but hopefully this is helpful. So I'm glad you were able to come on. Hey, speaking of COVID, for just a kind of an opening question, we could sit and spend the rest of our time talking about all the things COVID has taken away from us. And I don't want to make light of what it's done in the world and economics and health and all of that. But I do want to say, well, what's something that you've found that's been a gem come out of this, whether it's something, a new hobby, a new interest, a learning, an experience, something like that that can at least give us some, you know, the silver lining, if you will.
I'll tell you what, before all this COVID hit, my kids are in 4-H, livestock, sports, whatever it may be out there, and we are going constantly. We had something every evening, every weekend, and I'm like, man, I just wish things would slow down a little bit. Well, I got my wish.
Yeah.
So we got more family time. Now we didn't get to spend time with our extended family because we really tried to, you know, do what we're supposed to do. And just because my husband and I are essential workers, we're still out there. So we tried to keep the kids, you know, at home and just spend as much time as we could with them. Luckily, we got a boat last year, so we spent a lot of time on the lake as a family. So which that was wonderful, just more quality time with our family.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people have been wishing that for years, and here it was, but you know, it was juxtaposition where then we can't really be with our extended family. And so that made it tough, but a lot of people have listed family as, you know, they've been able to get it. So there's, you know, there's always a silver lining in everything, right? So let's talk about the Office of the Assessor. This is one of those offices that I think people kind of generally know, okay, the assessor, there's something to do with taxes, but can you explain to us just a little bit about the office? It's always a good refresher to hear, what are the key duties of the assessor? What does the assessor do for the county? If that'd be helpful, I think.
Sure. I think when everybody thinks of the assessor, they think taxes. They think either we collect taxes, we make your taxes higher, but we're governed by the state constitution. We are to set values for real and personal property, and those values are to be set at fair market value. With that being said, each year, which we run on a fiscal year, not a calendar year, so that's July 1st to June 30th. So we are to find and discover any new property, whether it be real estate or personal property. So we're able to put that on the books for our values for our county.
Gotcha. And when you talk about, just for folks at home, real property is real estate, buildings, land, and
anything
personal property
attached to the land. Yes.
There you go. And then personal property could be vehicles,
boats, campers, side by sides, stuff along that lines.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. What do you see? You've been the assessor now for 4-year cycle, right? What have you seen that in your job today, and in terms of trends you're seeing happening in the county, that I think folks, when they come to vote for the assessor, things they want to be thinking about, that this is coming our way, whether it be, I don't know, property value trends or things that are happening at a state level that will come this way, or regionally? What can you share in that regard to kind of have people thinking as they're going to the polls?
I know one thing that was brought up last year in Charleston, and I do travel to Charleston a lot. I talk to my delegates a lot, our senators. They were wanting to do away with personal property and then business and inventory tax. We, as an association as a whole, we were fighting to secure our tax base for our county. Because if you take away from somewhere, you have to make it up in another place. So I felt that was going to be put on the real estate side, which that would make your house or your land, all of that increase, which, don't get me wrong, the county needs the money, because that's what all of our values are based on, and because all of our loving bodies rely on tax dollars coming in. But that was one thing we kind of fought for last year. As looking for an assessor, I feel that you need to be fair. You need to be fair to the public. And that was one thing coming in and learning. You can't pick and choose and help your friends out, because we're monitored every couple years. So they actually come in, and if we're not doing our job correctly, we kind of get, a check mark or a ding. So my door's always been open. And that's one thing. It's nice to get a note from the public and say, hey, I appreciate the phone call. I appreciate the letter that you dropped me. And I try to get back with people the same day. I think that's one thing to look for in an assessor, is just to be fair and honest with the public. Give them an answer. If you can't find the answer, pick up the phone, call another county. Our organization as a whole works very well together. It doesn't matter if we're a Democrat or if we're a Republican. We all come together and we work well. Yeah, we help each other out.
That's good to hear. And talking about balance, it's a question. How do you, as the assessor, how do you balance that whole idea of being fair to taxpayers, but also at the same time, you said you have a duty. I mean, we've got to have revenue coming in for the county to fund things like schools and other things that our county taxes fund. How do you navigate that?
I'm just fair to everybody. I treat everybody the same, whether it be a deadline for a farm report. And I've had, good friends of the family that, they're turned in late. A deadline's a deadline, and I'm not going to, veer from that. So just treating everybody the same, and, being open and honest with people.
Yeah. And so when people have questions about the assessor, I mean, they come into the office and say hi, should they call you? Should they email? What's the best way if someone has a question about their assessment or anything? What's that process they should understand?
Normally before COVID, people could just walk in the office, and like I said, my door was literally open, and they would just, walk there, and I would let them come in and sit down, and I would talk to them. Now, the courthouse only allowing so many in the office at a time, that's made it hard. So a phone call, email me, and I'll get back to you, like I said, as soon as possible. Yeah, which is normally the same day.
Okay,
so,
great.
But yeah, I'll sit and talk to you if they have a question about their values. I'll get my appraisers. We've sat down with my appraisers and sat in the back and we've made up spreadsheets before to kind of explain, because people don't understand the market. They're like, well, my house is pretty old, but I don't understand why my taxes are going up. But if you look at the market now, I mean, it's booming, and I hope it continues, because that's more revenue for the county.
Yep, that's perfect. So as you look forward, and if you're fortunate enough to be reelected as the assessor here in the county, what would be your number one outcome? The one thing, I know there's a lot, we walk and chew gum at the same time, but what would be your top outcome you'd like to accomplish in the next 4 years?
In the next 4 years, just continue to learn my job, because I came into this office not being from the assessor's office, and I came in with a lot of challenges. And I learned something every day, and my employees and my staff learn something every day. They're like, man, I didn't know that. And I'm like, picking up the phone call in another county goes a long ways. Yeah, but just continue to learn my job, and continue to work well with the commission and the Board of Education, or all the other loving bodies. Because I've worked with the health department and the senior center. So just continue. I think we all need to come together in the county as a whole and work together.
Yeah, for sure. And nothing like on your first term to have COVID drop in the middle of that and add a whole nother angle to that. Chrissy, it's customary on this in this forum that we offer you the last word, the candidate last word. What is it you'd like to tell the people at Taylor County?
I just want to tell everyone I appreciate your vote last time, and I hope I've done well for the county, and I will continue to be fair and honest. And you know, like I said, my door is always open. Pick up the phone, call. I will get an answer to you. And I know sometimes people haven't always been happy with the answer that I've given them, but they've respected me for, you know, being fair to everyone. So I hope I continue to, and I will continue to work hard for the county. And I hope I get your support. I have a Facebook page, so I have updated, I try to update when absentees ballots, when you can get those, which those are going out now. Registering to vote, it's very easy. Do that online. So it's Christa Kinsey for assessor. So I appreciate all your support.
Great.
So, and thanks again, Alex, for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Christa. Christa Kinsey for the assessor. Good luck on the election, and thanks again for coming on the program.
Thanks so much, Alex.
Thanks.